Hello farmers and welcome back to Chambergo. The harvesting continues, but we are just about done. I probably got one more trailer load, maybe not even a full trailer load of crop to bring on down to the grain mill. But we're getting the job done a lot quicker this year because of the new combine, which I'm glad we purchased a couple episodes ago. It's making the job that much quicker. May not seem like it because the other combine was slowing down to about 4 miles an hour in some areas, and in some cases even 3. But yeah, constantly being able to stay at 6 miles an hour has been rather nice. We do got Frank behind us like always when we're harvesting, wrapping up the straw bales. Plan on selling those in December unless a little bit of extra cash will help us buy a couple of things I'm looking for. Just to refresh your memory and also mine every time I jump back into here. But I'm looking for a good tractor with about 350 horsepower for the farm. Kind of help the Vultra not do most of the bulk work here would be nice. Also the Horse Pronto, no sorry, not the Pronto, the Avatar, the Horse Avatar direct drill would be nice. I don't know, I was trying to think, do I want to take out another loan? We got one to buy this combine, but I was kind of thinking, do I want that drill? Because we got enough grain for the grain mill to make flour and to make bread, probably now for another year and a half, at least until next season. I was thinking about canola, but if I want to do canola, I got to do it by the end of September, which is next month. So it's either lease the drill or buy it at that point. And, I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see how we're doing financially. I know we're going to have some goat cheese to sell. September should be a good month for that. I think, I haven't checked since I logged in today. It's been almost a week since I've been on the map. But I think we got about $35,000 worth of goat cheese currently. So that would get me up to about 80. But I think my loan payment overnight is going to be like $5,000. I took out the loan for 3 years. It's not going to take me 3 years to pay it back unless I keep buying stuff with the money I bring in. And that very much, well, could happen. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'd rather not take out more loans. I didn't want to take out a loan after I paid off the one where I got the Vultra. But after harvesting the field this year with Evian Kloss Harvester, it was like, yeah, we need to upgrade because that was just going to struggle, you know, going forward. And who knows how long it would be before I could afford a combine or one that came up for sale. So we took out the current loan that we have. I think that is 170 grand currently that I borrowed. So we're going to have like 100 grand worth of bread in January. So I could pay off a good bulk of it then, or I could just buy myself a 4th tractor, right? That'd be my 4th tractor. 1, 2, yeah, it'd be my 4th tractor or the drill. I have to see here. It is getting late in the evening, I would say. I mean, 5:30 is not that late, but I don't want to be harvesting after dark. And I don't know what time it's going to get dark in August. I would say probably around 8 o'clock in the evening, so I got a couple more hours here. Should be done by then. Get the pipe on out. I do got to remind myself, not that it matters too much because like I said, we got a lot of grain at the grain mill already. But I did put some grain in our silo because I didn't want to make a trip all the way down there. I was trying to get on with the harvest, trying to get it done all this month. Because you never know what the weather's going to be like. You know, I play one day for a month. And usually I don't have a problem of it raining all day where I can't get harvesting done. But if the weather's good, try to get it done at that particular time. I also was thinking as well during this past week, as my mind does as I'm wandering around the house or trying to fall asleep at night, the grass fields. Now, the original grass field that we have is rather steep. I was thinking, what if I were to sell that property and buy a different one where it's a little bit more flatter and maybe more over towards our other grass field? So, what field is that? Field number 38? Well, there's not really a whole lot of small fields there. What's field 37 looking like? 102. This is at 115. So that is a good expected yield off that field. And that is 317,000. Yeah, that's probably a little bit too much. That field there, that is also kind of on a... That's 362. What's this one over here? 98. A lot of silty clay in that one. Well, all right, now that I'm looking at it, well, the setup we got is not bad. The Valtra is fine with the mowers. It's the point of the baler and the tractors I got currently. But I guess if I were to somehow get the fourth tractor for the farm with about 300 horsepower, well, that would do pretty darn good. I would think be able to haul that baler up and around that field. We will be mowing some grass today, and when we do, I think the field I was thinking about selling, or just showing off selling, possibly, that field I'll just make as grass bales, and those need to be brought up to the sheep and goats because they get kind of low on the bales at their lovely little pen. And the other field will be wrapped grass bales for silage, which I will sell at some point November, December, whenever I get around to it. Alright, I got a few more passes to do here, so we'll see how it goes. But I think it should be able to all fit into our trailer. I don't think I'll have a full trailer, but it'll be relatively close. Just heard the baler behind me starting to buzz, so we're going to have another straw bale possibly coming out because, yeah, I forgot what size bales I currently am making, but it may be a while before it spits it out. But it is beeping it. Oh no, it dumped it out there. Dumped it up behind us. Alright, so we're going to have a little bit of straw left inside the baler. I think I'll just leave it that way. I think it won't be enough, so when I do the grass, I think it'll convert the straw over to grass, which I would rather prefer to do anyways. But there we go. That is the last of our grain harvesting for the year. It's going to empty out into the Valtra. I think I'll just leave that tractor in the field with the baler because I'm going to be using it in October for cutting the grass. I will not need it until then, I don't think. And yep, it's all going to fit into our trailer. We'll bring that on down to the grain mill. Going to make them work all the way through winter, even through the holiday season. Putting out that lovely, lovely flour. While it's doing that, I can't remember. I think we were done with oats. Did I turn that off? No, I did not. It is now done with oats, so we can deactivate that. So you can see we got 72,000 liters of sorghum left, 57,000 liters of wheat. Plus, I do believe I got some in the silo. And right now, I got 52,000 liters of barley, along with, what do we got in there? 22,000 liters currently in the grain trailer. But the 7150 combine worked perfectly on all the fields. Turn that off. And actually, Francesca was the one doing the baling. We appreciate your help. But your services are no longer required for the month of August. And we'll just leave that there as well. Alright, let's go deliver this. And then I will have to check on a couple of things. But mainly the sheep and goats, but I think they are fine on feed. I do remember I left our tractor and flatbed trailer up there. I loaded up what they had on the trailer to be brought down in the morning of September to the spinnery and also the dairy production. And hopefully, if the goat cheese is good tomorrow, we'll go ahead and sell that. October is supposed to be the peak time, but my guess is probably overnight from September to October is when the peak time is. As for Uncle Walter, we just passed him. I don't think he has seen the combine, but then again, I wouldn't be driving the combine up the road like this. Uncle Walter really only stands at that one spot. Really probably should put down maybe a chair for Uncle Walter so he can sit down instead of standing all day. Just realized the Vulture will need some fuel before October when it comes time for cutting the grass, because we are getting rather low. I think I got enough back at the farm, but if not, we'll have to just buy some. So just a little bit more than a week away from the Highland DLC, which will get the Kingley map along with some fishing and some onions to harvest. Looking forward to that. Actually, today, as I'm recording this, I just ended my New Hope live stream series. And the next time I live stream Farming Simulator, I will be on the Kingley map, so looking forward to that. Going to get it right into day one. Going to get right into the fishing. Maybe the onions. I may actually start that series in the month of March, so we can plant the onions. Obviously in August, September, probably not the best time to be planting onions if I could even do so. I mean, I guess if I turn the seasons off, I could plant, but I always play with seasons turned on. Alright, let's get back to the farm. We'll park up the grain trailer and the Vultra after we refuel it. And we'll have a look at the sheep and goats, make sure everything is A-okay. Then we can go right into the month of September, where, as I said, we'll take care of our production buildings and maybe even sell some goat cheese if the price is decent enough. With a trailer in place, let's go ahead and top this off with some fuel. Am I close enough? I am. I got 2,000 liters, so that should be enough. And that will take a moment to fill up. So we're going to let the automatic filler take care of that, and hopefully it shuts off. And I don't have diesel spilling everywhere. Yeah, I think we're all set, like I said, but we just want to check on a few things. Because I got my running shoes on. Yeah, so sheep and goats, how are they doing up there? I'm sure they're fine on feed, and they are. Not only is their feed trough got a hay bale, no, it's just a grass bale, sorry, grass bale in there. Their meadow grass is growing pretty darn good. Do I have any sheep? No, I must have sold, I meant to say, do I have any sheep worth 1,000? No, I think I must have sold them. And as for our production buildings going, bakery, yeah, we got plenty of flour. Oh, the bread, I may have to move that. Dairy is still running. And the spinnery is actually still running, so that is all good. Sale page. What is in the sale page? Because I do not remember. Now I do. Nothing that we want. Yeah, so we're all set. Let's get on to the month of September, where hopefully we'll have, or at least hopefully the goat cheese price is good to begin with. So I would like to sell that right from the get-go, just to put. It's always good to see the money going on up. What are we down to? 43,000. It's not too bad. Loan interest is 500. Loan payment is 4,500. Yeah, so 5,000 a month, which is not too bad considering. Sale page. Well, I mean, it's better than what was in there the night before, but that is not what we want. We do not want a planter. It's not even a direct drill planter, which I would prefer on the farm. I mean, that's not a bad thing to have. It would give me a chance to plant some other crops. I was ready to say, well, let me actually do canola, because if it let me do canola, I would have done that and planted it, but no, it doesn't do canola. All right, no problem. Let's check on the stock market and see how we're doing here. 1880 for goat cheese, and the price is dropping, so I better sell that. Yeah, it says October, but I mean, right now, I would get $46,300 compared to $47,300. So it's $1,000 off the highest price. That's not too bad. I can deal with that. Anything else I should be selling? It says goat's milk, but why would I sell the milk when I can make it into goat cheese and make more money off of it? That would be silly. And nothing else I should be selling at all. All right. Yeah, so up to the goats and sheep. By the way, the Vultra is full of fuel, so that's good. Yep, you're just sitting there. You can sit there. And there we go. Fire that up. Let me come over to here, because I think we're going to have some sheep to sell. I think we are anyways. Going out the door. Yes, we got some right there. Sell 5 more. That pretty much almost offsets our loan payment overnight, so that's not too bad. It's a good way to start. And, yeah, of course, we'll just grab everything that's here. Let's see here. Might as well grab, at least try to grab these 2 over here. Trying to get both pallets at the same time. There we go. Yeah, I got plenty of room on the trailer. Would prefer the milk closer to the front for the drop-off point, as you already know. But sometimes just got to do what you got to do. Let me shove that a little bit further on down there. And yes, we'll take it all. It looks like the meadow grass has fully come back, and the grass bale, I should not have much more grass in there, actually. Still have almost 7,000 liters of grass on that thing, so... get these on here. And then, of course, yep, we'll go sell the goat cheese. And then we'll keep the trailer and tractor down. Actually, we'll bring it more over towards the grass field because I'll need it. I'll probably put this tractor on the baler again. And then, of course, when November rolls around, we can sell the silage bales. And by that point, I'll have to come back up here and empty out the trigger area of wool and milk. I don't seem to be getting a lot of items on the sale page, but it is the heart of harvest season, so all the other farmers are busy. So I kind of expect sometime soon we'll see more than just 1 or 2 things on the sale item page. People have mentioned, and I do know about the mod that will allow for more sale items, which is good and all, but I also feel like I just want to go with what the game offers for sale items. I don't want to flood the market with too many sale items that I'm just buying a whole bunch of used stuff. Again, I don't mind the series going on the slow pace, as I mentioned enough recently in the episodes. Yeah, I kind of want to go on the slow pace because there's no other maps out there currently. There's a lot of nice maps out there, but there are no other maps out there where it's like, I gotta play on this map. At least I don't feel like there's any other maps. I've looked at a few, and I always look at the ones that come out on the mod hub, and I try to think, are there any maps out there that's like, yes, I definitely want to play in those, you know, very soon. So I don't mind the slow pace here on Chambergo, and I don't want to go too fast on Uncle Walter either. I don't want to put him in shock for all the changes I've been making here in my first 6 years on the farm. I was getting ready to say, is there any traffic turned on today on the map? I didn't run to any cars on the way down here. I'm trying to think, did I turn traffic off at some point? Nope, it's turned on. They must be all clustered together, which has happened a time or 2 on this map. Alright, so the wool first, which, by the way, we got almost 6,500 liters of wool and 3,200 liters of goat's milk. I will auto-load the goat's cheese, just because the condition, or not condition, but the area that it's in, it is kind of, I mean, it can be done with this, what I have here, but just makes it a little bit more challenging to get that cheese out of there. Lift up the pallet forks so I can get as far in as I can. Why won't they unstrap? Alright, I'll hit my other button. That always works. And all of it is sold. Alright, now we just gotta drive around out back. Which is a little snug to do so, but it can be done. I still am tempted to activate the map hider object mod and get so where this wall is somewhat disappeared. I mean, I could go into Giant's editor on the map and delete it, but if I can keep getting it done like we just did, it's not too difficult. Alright, so how much cheese do we actually have? Of course, only can spawn 4 pallets. I mean, say cheese, 24,000 liters of goat cheese. Alright, off to the farmer's market. Oh, watch out for the school bus. Or school buses. No, you guys are fine. You're already kind of through there. Well, I did say, where's all the traffic? I think I found out some of my answer. They're stuck behind some school buses. Again, the money that we saw does not include our environmental score bonus. So I think I'll probably get like 4,500 on top of it, of what we're about to sell. And actually, we got 5,800 on top of what we sell. So that was almost 53 grand, getting us up to almost $100,000 back into the bank account. Now, again, originally I thought I'll just keep throwing the money at the loan, but if I do that, that doesn't really decrease the monthly payment. The monthly payment's going to stay the same. It just takes off how much we owe and how many more months we got left on the payment. I think I'd rather just keep the money for now. If I had enough money to pay off the loan entirely, I would. And then if something were to come up to use that I want, then I would take out a loan again. Because that's the way I would definitely roll, I think. Alright, so pretty much nothing to do in September, although I should check. Because I ran into this problem a year or two ago, where I did not check to see if I needed soil sampling done on some of my fields. So, with the harvest done, if I go to here, yeah, these 2 fields here, they don't need to be soil sampled this year, but it may not be a bad thing to do. So I think we'll go ahead and grab the soil samples for that. Let me jump into this vehicle here. Actually, might as well take the baler right back with us. And we'll go grab the soil sampler and we'll soil sample these 2 fields, which will not take us too long at all. Probably earlier than it needs to be done, but there were a couple spots in this field to the right that were blacked out, which I'm not sure why. You think the whole field will be in sequence, because it's not like I'm soil sampling smaller parts and others I am not, so I'm not too sure why those will be blacked out and the rest of the field isn't. So we'll get that done here very soon. As of, like, right now. Is that soon enough? And that should be over there. I think the other grass field does need to be soil sampled as well, but I'll wait until after harvest. So So maybe when November rolls around, we'll do it. Let me bring up the mini-map. So I can see where we're taking the samples at. Perfect. Well, since the other field needs to be done, I might as well just kind of merge on over a little bit here. Get somewhat that field done. Maybe it'll help me have to take one less sample. Don't think I'm going to get all this, though. Not quite. And, yeah, right about there. I probably should have started in that corner. Don't run into your own combine while staring at the mini-map. Of course, you can always just pay for someone else to do it, but I kind of like doing my own soil sampling. I mean, if I'm here long enough, the soil sampler will pay for itself. Now, of course, the type of the soil is not going to change. But I think the reason why I keep doing it is this way, it's one way to keep up on the nitrogen and pH value of the fields. And yeah, I'm going to have to do one tiny one here. I don't know if the soil samples are being charged by how many samples you send in, or is it done by the area that you cover. I'm not really sure how they do it, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and bring this back to the farm. And we'll hitch this back up to the baler. And I think this go right to October. Actually, I'm going to speed up time, so I do want to check $1,500 for the soil samples, by the way. But I do want to check the sale page. I just don't want to go from 9 o'clock in September to 9 o'clock in October, because things will come on the sale page and probably disappear before I can check it again. So we'll speed up some time. And yeah, I'll probably go put some fuel into this as well. Let's see, half the day has passed, and I got a pickup truck. I don't need a Skoda. Actually, Uncle Walter has a pickup truck. I technically don't have my own vehicles, so let me turn that Walter off. And fuel on up. Alright, we know the sheep and goats are going to be just fine because of all the meadow grass they got and everything. We know the production buildings are doing what they need to do. A couple more hours have passed. Well, a JCB wheel loader. I do like wheel loaders, but do not need one on this farm at this time. So, yeah, I think we are good. Yeah, we are good. Yep, let's go ahead and rest on up. And we'll cut some grass here in October. First field, we'll just do grass bales. And then the other field will be wrapped grass bales to make into silage. We will check the sale page, and well, there is a tractor in the sale page. 150 horse. That doesn't really help us out too much. Again, the Crystal Zader tractor is 171 horse. So, yeah, that doesn't really, it's not more. At 250 is about as low as I want to go for our next tractors, so that's not going to quite do it for us. Oh yeah, probably should check, because the price still may be good. Goat cheese is still pretty good, and I do got $12,000 worth of it. I got 6 pallets of goat cheese made in the last month, so I should sell that, just to get the money on in. Bread-wise, by the way, because we're in October, we're getting there. We already got 102,000, so a couple more months, yeah, we should get $125,000, $130,000 worth of bread to sell. So that's going to be a nice day for income. All right, Voltra, I need the mowers, and I do need the baler to be brought down to our grass field. So I'm going to get this all set up like I usually do, and I'll meet you over at our first grass field, and we'll get to cutting some grass. Because that's what we do on this farm quite a bit. Cutting grass. I mean, I do it 3 times a year. That's often. Alright, let me go ahead and reset some of this stuff. So, reset the bale counter. Make sure automatic drop is turned on, which it is. So we should be good to go. Yes, there is some straw in here, but I'm hoping they'll get converted over to grass when I pick this up. And Francine looks like she's a lucky winner to follow me today. Get the mowers turned on. The one thing I just remembered, or maybe I forgot, did I fertilize my grass fields? You know how it is when you do a job often and not? Because we cut the grass, as I just said, 3 times a year. I feel like I did fertilize it, but now I'm second guessing myself that maybe I didn't. I mean, it is what it is now. I can't really come in here and fertilize it. But it'd be good to know if the yield is going to be down or not. There goes those 2 school buses again. Are they holding up more traffic? Yeah, they got... Well, I don't remember that pickup truck being behind it last time. Or maybe it's a different set of school buses. I don't know. Yeah, I still haven't found the missing grass bale from last time either. Nitrogen... No, I did fertilize the grass field, so we're good. We should get 14 bales. Yeah, that tractor does slightly better, which it should, because it's got like maybe 50 more horsepower than the Virtuous tractor. But that would have been nice. And I got excited when I saw the tractor in the sale page, but unfortunately, yeah, it's not the amount of horsepower I'm looking for. Plus, being a manual shift, that would do a lot of shifting on the hills and probably make it even slower than other tractors. Even that tractor kind of struggles with the baler on the hill. I'm hoping on Kingley on that map, wherever I choose my starting farm, I hope I don't have many hills. New Hope, I had some hills that slowed us down here. I mean, this is a nice hill to go snow sliding on when winter comes. That's how good and steep it is. Now he's on flat ground. He should pick up the pace after he drops off a bale. And hopefully it's a grass bale, so when I make my next headland around there, hopefully we'll see that as a grass bale. But I'm glad I'm getting this cut in October. That way it leaves me November, still a farming month, if you will, to get back over here. I probably will soil sample this grass field. I think I put lime in these grass fields not long ago, but obviously get some fertilizer on them, and that way they'll be good to go in April, I do believe. My worker, she should be right behind me, which she is. That's a fast baler. I think that can bale at 16 miles an hour. I can only mow at 14, so technically that's a faster implement than what I got. But it struggles on the hills, as we know. Well, like always, when it comes time to cutting the grass field, I think it's just better to turn on the radio and get the job done. And hopefully when we're done, I can find all of the bales. And it does look like it's a grass bale up there at the corner, but it's in the shade, so I'll get a better look at it when I get up there. Well, trying to keep track of my bales. Don't know if you saw in the time lapse in the first grass field, but two of the grass bales did roll off the hill, and luckily down to the street that gets no traffic. So they're down there. This should be fine. And currently in this field here, I think we got a total of 6 bales, and it should be very close to our 7th, I would assume. Should get this out of the way here and fold it on up, and she should be right behind us very soon. Going to use that tractor as well to wrap up those bales. See if I can get this stuff put away before she gets over here. I doubt it. She's getting the work done rather quickly, and yes, here she comes. So I better go ahead and just tell her she can take the rest of the time off. Nope, nope, nope. And I also want to unload the bale that's here into the field. Not that it matters much. How many bales do we make? 13. Well, there's number 14. Okay, so that happened. And guess what? I'm not going to be able to get that bale out because I don't actually have nothing to unload. It's in there. Alright, I can't I can't. Basically, any way I can... I don't know if I got the bale or not. Is super strength turned on? Alright, let's see if I can... There we go. Like pulling a tooth. Alright, so that's out. So yeah, we actually ended up with 14 bales, right? Yes, 14 bales, like we always do. When the fields are at least taken care of, that's what I end up with. Let's go ahead and park this in here. Of course, that grass field there that we were just in, I could convert that back over to a crop field, because now with the new combine, I should have no problem harvesting it, but the grass is making us some pretty good cash, so probably best just leave it the way it is. I actually probably make more money doing silage off of it than if I were to do the crop. It'd be, well, no, I was thinking, okay, I get so much money off it per harvest, but yeah, grass field, I get 3 harvests. Wait, where did that bale go? I see ya. You're over there. Let me go ahead and turn on... A couple things I gotta turn. Turn on automatic drop. Yes. And that should be all I need to do. So it's 1. Should be the same amount of bales in both fields. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 7 here, 7 in the other one. That's the way it usually is. So these will be ready to be sold next month at the same time. So 10 o'clock in the morning, these will be ready to be sold. I don't have to rush to sell them, but that's when they'll be ready. I kind of wish the baler had this to where it turned these bales over when it unloads them. That way they won't be rolling around everywhere. But somewhere down the line, we will end up with a square baler, and we won't have to worry about it. But right now, this setup is doing just fine. You just gotta be, sometimes do a little Easter egg hunt, if you will, trying to find the bales. Alright, easy peasy, nice and easy. We'll fold this on up. Again, the other bales in the other field, those are for the sheep and goats, so we don't have to rush to get those up there. As we know, they got plenty of feed. So this tractor that I'm in, I'm going to bring over to the other field to get back on to the flatbed and get the front loader back on it. And we're going to go grab the goat cheese that was made overnight. And we're going to go sell that because the price is still pretty good. And I might as well get my 12... Well, probably pretty close to 14,000 for the goat cheese that we're going to get. I do love this butterfly mower, except for when I go to back it up. The wheels on it turn so quick. Right, turn that off. All right, let's go grab our trailer and such. I thought the beacons were on this. I wonder if the worker turned them off. Maybe I will just drive up in the field and make sure I can count where my 7 bales are. That way I'll know for next time. So I'm not going to move them today. Alright, so I see 1. Wait, any in that corner? So that's 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 is up in the corner in the shade. And I got the other 2 which we should see in the middle of the road right there. So they're all accounted for. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave the front loader off, because that'll make it easier to get into the dairy production to get the goat cheese. Yeah, this should get us over 100 grand in the bank account, which would be nice to see. Someone's got some cotton they need to harvest. I think you got until November to harvest cotton. Maybe sometime down the line, these fields down here will be ours as well. I guess all depends on what type of soil they have. Don't know who owns this business in through here, but I use this shortcut quite a bit to get to the farmer's market. But it is nice to see the bakery having that much bread here in October, already $100,000. That's before our environmental score bonus. So we got 2 more months of making bread. Sure, there's more than 4 pallets, or maybe not. Maybe that's all I'm going to get. Oh, a couple more, and that's going to be all we get. Another pallet is coming soon enough where I'm just going to fast forward time to try to get that other pallet. There we go. And I'm starting to think the goats may be starting to make possibly more milk than the dairy can go through to process in the goat cheese. If that's the case, then I may start turning on something else. That way we always got product to sell. I think someone said bottled goat's milk actually sells pretty good for what it is. There we are, up to $105,000 now in the bank account, which is nice to see. So we'll get this all set up for next time, where we'll have to get our bales all situated. We'll sell the silage bales in November. We'll get the grass bales up to the sheep and goat pen. We'll drop them off, and then probably bring some more stuff down to the production buildings. And yeah, I'll have to... Actually, in November I can fertilize the grass fields, because the grass will regrow. And then I can fertilize and get that done. So that way when spring rolls around, I don't have to worry about the grass fields to prep them. They'll be all set to go. I can just focus on getting some crop into the ground. Which, yes, I did go past September, so I'm not putting canola in. I just didn't see it worth it, really, to lease the drill for planting just one field. It was going to cut into my profits. So currently, yep, these right here. I mean, like I said, the tractor is not bad. It's just that I already got 2 tractors similar to it. And it's also a manual shift, and that's going to have a lot of problem on the hill. It's going to have to be something like the Deutz T8. I don't know what the Deutz T7 would be for horsepower. 230? 247. So I would even go with a Deutz 7 at 250 horsepower. That would do good at pulling that baler up the hill, I think. And on flat ground, that would be doing good on a lot of stuff as well. But, yeah, we'll like it on sale, of course. That way I can get it for like 125. That's what we're looking for. The AgroStar is a 238. Nope, a 230 horse. I mean, if that were to come up for sale, well, technically I could buy it now outright. But if it come up for sale for like 40,000, 230 horsepower, I mean, between the Voltra and the Deutz AgroStar, those are the two tractors. You get a lot of horsepower for the money that you're purchasing for. Even the John Deere 6R would be a nice one to have. 281 to 300 horsepower. But yeah, that's if it only comes up for sale. How much are the white tractors? I forgot. 225 on that one. 225. I think these are all the same. Oh, these two are the same. I used one of them somewhere, but not for long. Well, we'll think about it when the time comes. If they even come up for sale, we'll have to wait and see. Am I in your way? I mean, I'll back up for you. All right, just enough in your trigger zone, I guess. All right, traffic is all set. So harvest season is done. The grass has been cut. We'll sell silage bales in November. We should get about 30,000 for those. We usually get almost 60,000 for 14 bales, so half bales, 30,000 roughly what we should get. And we'll keep our eye on that goat cheese as well. If the price is still good, maybe we'll sell it. But the main thing is, I think next episode we'll be getting through the winter months, which means we'll be selling that bread. So that'll be 100 grand coming on in. And maybe even get to the springtime. I don't think we'll get to planting next episode, but possibly. We might do. The only way might be planting next episode, I would think, is if one came up for sale. If the Avatar came up for sale, I'd probably want to use it just because. We'll have to wait and see. But anyways, that's what I'm going to wrap up for today. If you remember the thumbs up button, yeah, that little button down there. Have you clicked it yet? If not, you want to help me out? I appreciate it. Thumbs down button's there as well. And if you're new here, and you like this kind of content, you might want to think about hitting that subscribe notification bell for more fun like this. But yep, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. I do appreciate watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Chambergo. But until then, have a good one.